So I was kind of waiting just a few minutes to see if Storm and Lee were getting here. Don't believe Cozy's going to join us live. I think she may be in the chat. But I just decided that I'll let them, as they come in. So I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Hello, Nancy. It's good to see you. Leanna says, good morning, Leanna. I came bearing humble apologies for Leanna. Good. No problem whatsoever. Hi, Cajun. It's good to see you. Stephanie said hello. Hello, Stephanie G. Nancy, yeah, absolutely. No problem. I know it's more of a joke. I saw that. Good. I hope you know that. Hi, Jillian. It's good to see you. I think if you don't like it or don't have to. Yeah. So we'll let everybody trickle in and my partners in crime get here. In the meantime, what are you guys reading today? And who finished, before we start talking about who finished Mistletoe, Moussaka, and Murder? I did yesterday. I'm very proud of myself. I've been finishing it the day of, but I did finish it yesterday. I will be reading Murphy's Slaw, the third book in the Alaskan Diner series, which was on my SAS list. I did not think I was going to be able to get to it because it hadn't come out on audio, and it just came out within the last couple of weeks, or at least available on Hoopla. So I was really excited to see that. Cajun said she finished it. Nice. That's a good way to refer to it. MMM. Gotcha. Okay. Hello. It's good to see you, Sorola. I'm so happy that you made it. Stephanie said I finished it. Gotcha. Cajun said she's currently reading Rebel Without a Clause from the Movie Club Mystery Series. That is one I really want to try starting. I think that sounds like a lot of fun, a movie club. I love it. Hi, Elizabeth. It's good to see you. Elizabeth, if you want to jump on in a little bit and talk about the book with us, you're more than welcome. Just let me know and I'll send you the link. Stephanie said, today I'm reading Beyond a Reasonable Stout by Ellie Alexander. Stephanie, I just finished that this past week. I loved it. Yeah. What are the odds, Stephanie? Hi, everyone. I'm Mel Max. She said, I'm still reading Tide in Punishment. I've got about 25 pages left. That's the Brie Baker, right? Seaside Cafe? I think so. I finished Mistletoe. Nice. Reading Elantris today. Just finished Oliver Twist. Nice. All of my books that I plan to read, I'm going to let Storm in. Hi, Storm.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good.
Excellent. So I've just been kind of hearing what everybody's reading. What are you reading today?
I am going to read Up to No Gouda, I think.
I love that title. So I thought that we would we'll do a read sprint at like maybe 10 after, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
And then that way we'll give people plenty of time. And then on the when we come back, we'll start talking about Triple M.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send Elizabeth a link for her to come on, and if she would, she said, yeah, send me a link. So I'll do that in the first sprint, Elizabeth.
Cool.
I am reading Murphy's Law, Storm. I love that title.
Yeah.
And I'll probably start an ebook as well. I finally feel like, this series is over. Not because I didn't like it, but because it was a lot of pressure to get an ebook.
It read by a certain time.
Yeah, just because I read so slow on ebook. So,
well, that was like my thing. Like this month, I was like, I've got plenty of time, and then I'm like, I have this week to read it. So I was like,
yeah, right. The same way.
The time I don't know what it is about this month. It just like flew by. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it really, really did. Remember when you were a kid and the advent calendar or just waiting on Christmas Day felt like 8 years of your life?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh my gosh, I only have 8 days left or whatever it is,
Yeah, it's
It's
like
just it's funny how it's
crazy.
Cajun said all of my books that I plan to read for the rest of the year are Christmas cozies, and one is a New Year's cozy. I love that. What is your New Year's cozy? Is it I feel like it's going to be the catered Isis Crawford or whatever, Iris Crawford, or what is her name? Can't remember what her name is, but I love that series. There's a catered New Year's book in that series.
Oh, yeah.
The only New Year's book that I know of, so that's what I'm guessing. Cation said, I'm just loving the Christmas books this year. Me too. Me too. And then, hi, Anita. I hope you're feeling better. She said, I'm reading a 3-book problem.
Yay.
Is that part of the Library Lovers?
No, it's the Sherlock Holmes. Vicky Delaney.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard book and in the title, and I know how much you love. I was like, oh, I bet you it's the Library Lovers. I read book, line, and sinker this week.
Yeah, cool.
Number 3, yeah. And then this is Elizabeth saying, yes, she'd join us. I'll send you the link. Gotcha. Yeah, because we're not going to start talking about the book till after the first sprint. Hello, Just Gail. You're not late.
You're not late because I was a couple minutes late.
That's what I'm saying. I was late too. So it's okay. Yeah. I wasn't late. I was just like, I'll wait a few minutes and see if they get here. I'll wait a few, you know what I mean? So no biggie. I agree. I don't know where October, November, and December went. Yeah.
Just like
I don't even know where all the months went. I really feel like this year just like we just had, I don't know.
I feel like it was just January, like last week, and now it's like
right. I really do. I feel like it was just Christmas or something. I don't know. Like last Christmas. I like the Seaside series enough to continue it. I enjoy the series, but I don't love it exactly how I feel about it. I think the reason is that the main character is kind of annoying. She seems immature and way too obstinate. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I absolutely love her cider shop series, and her Christmas tree farm is my 100% my favorite, and it's probably one of my favorite series, but I
haven't got to try that one yet. I need to try it so I can know if I'm gonna like it or not. Because everybody else,
a lot of people love it. A lot of people love it. And it's okay. It's just like she said, just one of my favorites. A New Year's murder. Oh, travel can be murder.
Cool.
Who is the spy? That sounds. I want to read. I want to read that. Tell me who that's by, please. Oh, it's 10 after. Do we want to do a reading sprint and then we'll come back, get caught up on the comments and talk?
Hi, Cornflower.
Yes, hello, Cornflower. Sorry. All right. So we don't have a fancy dancy timer. So reading till I don't have 2 monitors. So I won't.
That's okay.
Yep, it's gonna be what it is. I've messed up. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, guys. So we'll read till 40 and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Triple M. Happy reading, everyone. Elizabeth, I'll send you the link. Oh, hello. How was your sprint?
Good. I'm at 22%, so not too bad.
Excellent. Excellent. Um, I didn't get too far. I had to make a couple like errand phone calls that I just had to get done before they closed. So I did some of that, and yeah, I did get maybe about a chapter done.
Better than nothing.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So let me see where we were. Morning, Cornflower. I hope your daughter is doing well. Leanna said just started Anteater of Death by Betty Webb. Nice.
That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah. I already read A Catered New Year's Eve. That's the one I was thinking of, Cation. Gotcha. Up to No Good is on my list, but I have a few more books to read before then. Yeah, that's really cute. What series is that?
What?
What series is that?
That's the grilled cheese.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got like, the normal cozy setup, and everything. And it's like you could tell right off the bat who was gonna die and who was gonna be accused. And
Of course.
but the little dog on the cover, I just want that dog. It's a Morkie. And she
Oh,
says what it is. I had to look it up. They're like so cute because it's a cross between a Maltese and a Yorkshire Terrier, and they're just so cute.
oh, a Morky. That's funny. Jennifer S. Alderson writes the Travel Comedy Murder series. Okay, thank you, Cajun. It's just Gail said I'm reading the whole Pelican Cove mystery series by Lena Clover. Nice. Hi, Donna. It's good to see you. Kay Christmas. I love it. Said hello. Finished. What is it? The Addie LaRue.
Yeah, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Thank you. The Invisible Life. I knew it was something.
And she read that like super fast because it's like, I don't know what, like 500 pages, and she just started like a couple days ago.
Gotcha. Hello, Books and Buffs. Said currently cleaning, but stopping by to say hello. Well, that is awesome. I do that too during some sprints because I try to pop in, just like you're saying, and I still have to get stuff done. Unfortunately, it really gets in the way of my reading time. Jillian said just had left half price books and got a nice cozy looking mystery haul. Nice. Here is Elizabeth. Had no cell. Hi, Elizabeth. Had no cell service, so no idea if they're actual cozies. Also misspelled, or also missed the beginning.
Oh, hang on. I realized I have you on. Let me exit out of everything. That's why there's an echo. So sorry. All right. There we go. Okay. That was my fault. I am so sorry.
No problem. Mr. Francie, hello. I still hear myself. Anita saying hello. Nancy says hello. Leanna said 13 pages. Anita's at 68%. Nice, Anita. Nancy said read 2 chapters at 60% of Elantris. Really good. Excellent.
I heard you talking about Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's a fast read. You don't want to put it down. I read it for book club.
I did
earlier in the year. You did? You didn't like it, really?
I gave it like 2
Oh
seconds.
man, I mean, it's not necessarily my kind of book, but I was so compelled to just.
I was so
keep
bored.
going. Really?
I wanted to quit reading it and DNF it, but I was using it for a challenge, so I kept going. And me and my friend both didn't like it, and we were buddy reading it, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, is it almost over?"
Oh my goodness! Even the people in our book club who don't like fantasy liked it. And the one we read that we didn't like was The Starless Sea. How you described Addie LaRue is how I felt about The Starless Sea. It was just like,
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, didn't care for it at all.
But the one that does that book is the one that does Night Circus, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I DNF'd Night Circus, so I didn't even try the other one.
Yeah, you're better off if you didn't like Night Circus, which I thought it was okay, but I didn't love it, and like Starless Sea even less. So thanks for inviting me on. I was thinking about asking you, and then I've got so much going on today, but I will come on at least for this segment just to throw my hat in the ring, my 2 cents about the book. But I have a rehearsal at 3 for our Christmas program tomorrow. I'm directing it. And then after that, we have dinner at church, and then we have our last night of live nativity. So I've got a big day.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Sounds like a very busy day.
Yeah.
So why do I hear such an echo?
I don't know. I don't hear it.
Okay.
I hear it.
Every time I talk, I hear it.
I can hear it, but I don't know what the problem
Yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden it's doing that.
Well, it's probably my fault then, since I just came on. I could put headphones in and see if that helps.
I'm sure it's no. Okay, so what did you guys rate the book? Tell us too in the chat. What did you rate Triple M, Mistletoe,
3 stars,
and Murder? Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad for Storm, who doesn't normally like food cozies.
This series has been very up and down. 3 stars.
3.
I gave the first book 2 stars. I DNF'd the third book. The second book. I gave the third book 2.5 stars, I think. The fourth book 4 stars, and the fifth book 3 stars.
Okay. I gave it 4 stars, which I think I gave all of them 4 stars, except the last one, which I think I gave like 4.5. I enjoyed the series a lot. No, that's not true. I gave the second one a lower, like 3 stars. I didn't care for the second book very well.
Yeah, that was the one I DNF'd, and there was a lot of people that didn't like that one or DNF that one. So
was it book 2 or 3?
Book
3.
Book
was
2.
It 2? I thought it was 3 that wrote it and finished. It might have been 2.
Really
I think Roe was done by book 3, but I know a lot of people DNF like the second book or didn't like it when we were discussing it. They didn't like
it. It was definitely my least favorite of the series. And this one, well, okay. So I was seeing if everybody, okay, so Cajun said she rated Triple M 3 stars as well. Gotcha. What did you guys think? So there were a few parts that frustrated me. I mean, as in any book, I'm sure that there's, something, but I don't know if I just didn't notice it in the other books, and I still gave it 4 stars, but I was really annoyed with Lucy's behavior towards the detective at the beginning of the book, or closer to the beginning of the book, when she kind of all but questioned his competence, and it just really, she's like, well, I don't think that's good enough. And I'm like, oh, good thing they don't answer to you. I mean, it really, like, for whatever reason, just struck a chord and really frustrated me at the time. Not frustrated me, but I gave it 4 stars. Overall, I really liked it. I had no idea who the killer was. Did y'all know who
I figured it out.
I guessed it from the beginning.
Really?
Yes. But it was okay because I thought the reveal and the arrest at the end was spectacular. I was like laughing out loud. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I loved that Gadu had a part in it, and how she like ran in the group of people and just like made a citizen's arrest. I thought of Gomer Pyle, citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I thought it was great, but I did guess it because she kept talking about all the possible candidates and the suspects, and she always left out the killer. Like as if that never occurred to her. Well, that's always who it's going to be. The one it never occurs to you. And I thought that's who it's going to be.
And I think for me at the beginning, I didn't want it to be that person. And so I just kind of put that one. But then towards the end, I'm like, it's going to be that one. So I'm like, yeah, it's going to be that one.
Now, I thought the drug guy was going to be the other owner.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Because he did a
couple things that were suspicious.
I really wanted it to be the Vinny guy because I didn't like him.
That's who I thought the drug guy
was the Vinny guy.
Especially when she talked about him like pulling into her lot and like sneering at her. I was like, I just feel like he's going to be, I expected him to be a bigger part of something with the way that she like, felt about him, or just like the vibe and the way it was presented. I was like, oh, he's part of that drug ring. That's what but I never thought the killer, I never suspected the killer.
Yeah, I thought it was a good twist with the hiding the money in the kegs and all that. That was interesting. I don't know if that's possible, but
I have no idea.
I guess if they make a false bottom in them or something.
Yeah. Yeah, because he said it had a compartment that was still, you were still able to hold beer, but so it would still work and function, but had that secret compartment. But yeah, I love the ending. I just thought it was hilarious and fantastic as far as the arrest and how that all played out. I don't remember her acting. What you commented on about how she treated the was it Clemens? I don't remember her. I don't remember that part. It didn't stand out to me. There was something else though that did stand out to me, and I thought I marked it and I had put a little tab, and I have accidentally moved the tab, so it's not there anymore.
It's kind of like when they were at the, I don't know, is it the restaurant or wherever they meet, and they were talking. She was talking about it with her friend, and she's like talking about him, like how he's this, that, and he's behind her.
Yes.
And they're like,
And then
I think you're talking about me, or you talking about me, or something. And
and then like Katie like slinks off with Bill, or and they have this big conversation, and he kind of thinks Susan is the number one suspect at that point. She's like, "Well, why? Explain to me how. Make me." And I'm like, it just was a little like, whoa. If you want to investigate, that's one thing, and stick your nose into it. But the way that she said that, like, explain it to me, like he needed to do that. Like that was, and then when she said, well, that's not good enough or something along, I was like, you've got to be kidding. Like it frustrated me. I was like,
I don't like it when they try to make the police look incompetent. I mean, it's okay to help them out because you think, it might be something else, but I mean, they have to follow the evidence, and all the evidence led to Susie. I mean, that's just how it was leading.
Right. One thing I thought that was a little bit formulaic about this series as a whole is that every one of the murders, one of her friends was accused, like it was another business owner or someone she knew or a friend, and it was like, okay, can we have somebody else who's a suspect? Does that always have to be your motivation for getting involved, is that you're trying to protect a friend? But I mean, that's just the formula for this series, I suppose.
It's a formula for a lot of cozies, though. I mean,
yeah, because otherwise you might get involved unless you have a
usually it's either you are in trouble, or a friend is in trouble, or a friend's friend is in trouble, or something like that. So
yeah, I was also like, can we pick a wedding date? Or
that was getting a little old too. It's like, just pick something.
And I don't want it to sound like I'm only ragging. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I love the setting of this. I know a lot of people didn't think this was, a great series. I personally really enjoyed it overall. But I just was getting tired of the repetitiveness of I bought you a new wedding magazine. Oh, we haven't picked a date. Oh, pick a date. Oh, I want, and I'm like,
it was like Katie was wanting to get the one to get married more than Lucy was, because she's like, I got all this stuff.
Yeah. She was really living vicariously again through Lucy.
Absolutely. Do you guys think there'll be a 6th book? Because this one came out in 2020. So it's not to say that it's over.
It could have another one, but like, you never know if they cut her off and then they cut her off, but it didn't quite end. I mean, because, like the whole wedding thing didn't even, happen. So,
well, I don't know. I felt like right at the end, she did, kind kind of sound like, well, the very last line was, "You never know, you just never know," was the very last line. So to me, that was kind of like, okay, if we have to end it here, you just never know, that kind of thing. So I
Well,
think
that's why it's like,
it's
she might have tried to end it, but then also leave it to where it can be open. But
Yeah.
a lot of them, they just get cut off and they're like, nope, we don't want anymore. And then there's nothing you can do about it. So it just gets cut off. So.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about all of these books is that, a lot of times when you get to the end of the book, it'll have the first chapter of the next book. Every one of these always has the chapter of the previous book, except this one has the first chapter of the first book, which I did read again because I had listened to it on audio so fast that I was just sitting here and I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and read this again. And it kind of reminded me of some of the intro stuff. But anyway, I enjoyed it, and I like the sand, the snow, the Sandman.
I was trying to talk about it, and I was like, "Sand Snowman,
Sandman." Because he's Mr. Sandman. But yeah, you don't think about beaches having snow, but there is a little bit of snow, a dusting of
she
it.
mentioned that too, because she said like when they were doing the polar bear plunge that there was a little bit of a snow. I'm like, man, that just sounds cold. I don't know why anybody would ever want to do a polar bear plunge.
And I have, while reading this, I've literally had the same type of thing in like 2 other books now that I'm reading, because I'm reading like Christmas themed books.
Oh yeah,
so people talk about polar bear plunge. Ooh. I know. I wouldn't want to do it.
Have you guys ever done that? Has anybody ever done that? Ooh, no. I don't think I would either.
I mean, here in Florida, I don't think it would be that bad. I think that people do them here, but apparently they do them in New Jersey too. I don't know.
Yes, exactly. They did them like in Illinois and Missouri, and it's freezing there. Like, Florida might be at least okay. I mean, the water's cold, but it wouldn't be. You're not going to be walking across snow on sand either. I mean.
I thought it was funny when she's, she talks her friend into it, and then she's all like, the water's 45 degrees and this and that. And she's like, are you trying to talk me into it or out of it?
Right?
At least it's not freezing.
Friends? He's like, I don't know yet. Katie's like, I don't know. Let me tell you later.
Let's wait until after I get in this cold water.
Yeah. So, I was trying to think, overall though, like I think it was the setting that really drew me in, because I loved like the idea of the boardwalk is very appealing to me for a setting of a book. So I really enjoyed how they she would sometimes be on the boardwalk running or whatever, or like was it the last book that she jumped the tram and all that to catch the thief and ran? I mean, it was so funny.
And the fact that she was a runner and was always jogging and running, it was good that they made a point of saying that, because then it made it more believable when she actually had to run from a killer or run towards something or whatever, or keep up her strength, because you can't be a runner and not build up endurance and lung power and all that. So at least it was more believable. And and I like the fact that she being small, she put on spiky heels and then she used those as a weapon. So that was cool too.
Yeah. I'm really shocked that you guys figured out the killer. Like, I was not anywhere in the realm.
Really? Did you have a guess? Who did you think it might be? Vinny?
That's yeah. I mean, probably Vinny more than anybody, because it was really not that many people to choose from. But I also thought it could have been his business partner Norman.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like he was a central character to the victim, but wasn't mentioned a whole lot.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, it could be Norman. Because that interaction she had with Norman clearly kind of showed at the very beginning when she went to the Seaview to see if she wanted to have her wedding reception there. You could tell he wasn't like thrilled with his business partner. But and there was bits and pieces of him, but not a whole lot. And then when they stated he was at the polar plunge, I was like, oh, it's Norman. But
yeah. And like I said,
I thought it was a duo of Henry and what is it, Clarissa or Clarice or whatever. I thought they might have done it together. That was one of my first ones. That's what I thought.
Well, and I'll tell you what else kind of clued me into the fact that it was going to be Jake is because they were talking about it needed to be someone strong enough to drown Deacon. And then they made a big deal about the kegs and how nobody could lift the kegs and how, Jake had brought the keg in and then nobody else could lift it. And so they were showing like that he was strong enough. And I thought, okay, yeah, it's going to be him.
Well, and Storm, I think I did suspect Henry because the whole time they were in the photo shoot, he was very bizarre acting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly when everybody left and she stayed behind, he was very, just odd acting. And when she had that picture of him with Deacon, and then it was revealed it was his uncle, I was like you. I was like, And then there was the, him and Clarissa. Was it Clarissa? Together having that conversation. I did suspect that they could be a duo team as well.
Especially whenever it was told that Henry is the one that's made sure everybody knew that Clarissa wasn't anywhere near him. So I thought, well, they could,
So. They were each other's alibi, I think.
Yeah, kind of. But I did think it was interesting to have the murder happen during the polar bear punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of all those people,
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting concept to like literally in front of people's eyes a murder happen, which you don't, see very often. I'm going to come back to the comments that aren't related to this, but I'm going to hop forward a little, guys, to see what everybody's saying about the book, and then I'll go back up. I liked it probably best or second best in the series. This one, I did too. I thought the fourth book was my absolute favorite. I did like in this one. Yeah, the fourth one was my favorite, but I'll say that this one, I was really also excited to see that the landlady was in this one again. I think she adds a lot to the story, and just
I wish she was in it a little bit more. I think.
Yeah, she didn't have a very big part in this one, but she was there at least.
Yeah, she wasn't quite as funny as in the last one, which is why I think I liked the last one the best.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't needed to the story the same way. At least, I mean, as part of the plot. The last one, the victim was her nephew, so it was weaved in a lot more. But I think that a quirky character like her, is it Eloisa or something like that?
Yeah.
I think she was definitely needed to the story, so I was really glad to see that they put her even at least a little bit into.
Yeah, I wish it would have been put in earlier, because then I might have liked it a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and they totally could have. I say she, because Lucy needed to find her own place like 2 books before she did. She really needed to get out of her friend's house.
Yeah. Totally. Nancy said she rated it 3.5, rounded up to 4. Overall, the series was a 4 for me. I enjoyed it. Me too, Nancy. I agree. She said she figured out the killer halfway through as well. I never figure out the killer, even with like blinding neon lights. Like, it's me. Yeah. The others seem too obvious. I agree. Cajun said,
I don't mind finding it. I don't mind figuring it out. It's kind of fun. Then wait and see if I'm right or not. And because a lot of times I'm not right. I'm just absolutely sure it's going to be so and so, and then I'm completely wrong. So
I just hate it whenever I like 2 chapters. Then I'm like, I bet it's this one, and then I'm right, and I'm like, I didn't even get to. Wasn't even that hard. I like to at least go through all of them several times, trying to figure out who I think it's going to be.
Right. I'm sorry to mean it.
No. Cajun figured it out too.
Awesome.
Nancy said Jake wasn't really the guy everyone thought. He wasn't that nice. Yeah, for sure. If any of you have YouTube channels, put the name of your channel and I will subscribe to you. Awesome. Let me put both of their channels. Storm, it's Storm Reads, not Stormy, right? I have to ask every time.
Storm Reads.
I have you on like my list already, so I never go and okay. So Storm Reads.
It's like with yours. I was like, is your name all together or is it separated? Because that one, because I don't really think about it either.
And then Elizabeth is Lizzie Faye with a Y, yeah, or E, I meant, love
FAYE.
books.
I typed it in at the bottom of my thing, but it
Oh.
doesn't show up on when you do. Do you like, as a host, do you make a choice to whether to put it there or not?
I don't know if the host makes it. If there is, I don't know how to do it, so that's why.
Okay, yeah, because
But I put them down there.
I think I've done it both. I've seen it both ways, or maybe it's if you do
If you
a
can
YouTube live
figure out
stream.
how to make somebody a moderator, then somebody else can do it. But for the most part, you can't type it on here. But if you're on like your phone, like, and if you open it up like as a second, a lot of times you can talk. But
Okay, because I'm looking at my little icon, my little thumbnail down here in the bottom, and I see my name, but then when I look at what's showing on the internet, it's not showing. Like when I logged in, I had to put my name.
Open it up on my phone as well as having it here, and then put the volume roll down and then type on it.
I didn't change any settings, so I didn't change a setting for people not to be able to talk. But if there's a setting where you have to check something to enable people to talk, I didn't go through and mess with anything because my luck, I'd mess something completely up. So I'm just
I think it's just the host is like the one that does it, unless you make a moderator and that moderator's on there.
And all I'm talking about is just where it shows at the bottom of the screen your name. Because I know I've watched some videos where I can see the name, and it's probably some box you can check as the host, but it's no big deal. It's fine. I don't care. I'm just commenting because she asked, about our channels.
Oh, you mean right here, the bottom are our names. Gotcha. Bottom of the picture.
Bottom of our picture,
okay.
Yeah.
There might be a box that makes it happen. I have no idea. It is on the bottom where we are in the waiting room, so I don't know why it wouldn't come up that way. But
right. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know why.
Katie, I don't know, guys. Occasion said
where it's supposed to be like right here.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, whenever you click off of the comment, it pops it up here.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
I was like, I don't know.
I know.
I really didn't know, because if it requires some sort of change, I probably didn't do it. Cajun said that was a clever twist in the book. Yeah, I thought it was too. I really liked the reveal. I think the reveals in most of these books have been really creative, like when she jumped the tram and all that, and then this one where she made a citizen.
Can you imagine just bursting into that crowd of people and just yelling at the top of your lungs who the murderer is?
I also think that she probably didn't think it was Jake for the fact that she trusted her mother's intuition on he was a nice guy and she set him up with Susie. And so, she probably didn't even think about it, because it's like, oh no, my mom just set them up and now he's a bad guy.
Right. Her mom probably felt horrible. I know I would.
Yeah. She threw up the sister dumping him in his face, which I didn't like. Because the sister had dated.
Yeah, she did that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they had talked about that in other books, but I don't think she had actually ever said to him, "Are you still holding that against our family?" They just assumed he was, and I think that was the first time she actually ever said it to him. And I don't even remember how he responded. I think Clements has grown a lot over the series and come to a more mature working relationship with her and her family.
He wants her to stay out of it, but he also, if it's somebody that he likes, I mean, like he didn't, I don't think he really wanted to arrest Susie.
Yeah.
And so he's like, unless you can give me somebody else, like he was giving her, come on,
right.
Because all the evidence is going this way.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I think when it's your friend, I understand, Lucy. I might be the same way with the cop. I mean, maybe it's fiction, so it's just. But
I think if it was my best friend, but if it's just somebody I know, I don't know if I would be so.
I guess it was too the way, and I mean, I know you're reading, but to me, it was not just that the concept of questioning the cop. I'm not saying we shouldn't make questions about, even like Nancy said, it was the way she said it, what words she used, and kind of the tone that they're portraying that she used.
Mm-hmm.
You can say something and speak up and be assertive. You don't have to be disrespectful and rude.
Yeah. Right.
And it was clear that she was almost trying to, in my mind, belittle, and I don't like that. And so I just, but I mean, I got past it. It was just one little, thing that I was just surprised at how she came across. Oh gosh, you've been sitting here this whole time wondering what series we're talking about. I'm so sorry. Just Gail, if you are still here and you weren't like, okay, forget these people. We are talking about, this is the book we read that she's holding up, but that's the 5th book where it's the Kebab Kitchen series. This is by Tina Cashian. And we did a series read along where we read one book every single month. So we started in August, and this is the last book in the series. But in February, we're going to be starting a new series if you'd like to join us.
We just haven't figured out what it is yet.
We do not know. We are taking suggestions of books, but we want something that's like 3 is probably a really good number, but between 3 and 5. I would say no more than 5 books in the series, but we're looking for a trilogy. However,
that you can get on ebook and audio.
There's 2 catches. One, what Storms just said, we want to be able to find it in all formats, physical, ebook, audio. But the other thing is we don't want it to be a food cozy just because we read a food cozy. So we do have a few. And if you're in our Discord, we're going to be putting up a poll. If you're not in the Discord, join it. Somebody's always on there talking about cozies, and you can vote, but we're going to start that read in February. We're going to take off a month. I don't think the wedding was the focus, but I too got a little frustrated. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it was mentioned. It just was repetitive in the mention of what exactly it was. And I agree with you. Katie was like, I booked a reception hall. I did this. And I was like, not booked, but, and I was like, dang.
Let's go look at this place, and let's go look at this place, and let's go do this. And I just bought another magazine.
Right.
Calm down.
Mr. Fancy Reed said the book, yes.
I think he was probably just answering Gail.
Oh, Tina Cashian has an anthology coming out in February, so I think she's done. Oh, okay. So that's why I was just saying you probably already know. Sorry. But yes, we're going to start in February. We're going to be voting soon. We have a few series. I don't remember what they are. One of them is the Silver Knitters crafting series. I'm trying to think of what
there's the Dangerous Type by Paige Shelton, I think.
And the one that starts to Helvetica and back or something like that.
And then Donna one that I don't read some of those was Pen and Ink by Krista Davis. It's the coloring book one or whatever. Like,
oh, that sounds cool.
I think the books come where you can actually like color them in if you want, because
fun.
Yeah, and then there was a few others. I can't remember. We talked about them in the live last night, but they will be on the Discord. That just shows that in Australia we may not be able to have a snowman, but we can have a sandman.
Yeah,
exactly. Same in Florida, Mr. Francie. I agree. No, but I think Cozy was going to put some suggestions in the Discord. Yes. There was a lot of repetitiveness, but she is a new writer, I think. Yeah, I agree with you, Nancy. I think that that is the case. This is her first series, from what I know of. So I agree. Maybe she does Cajun. I'm not sure. I thought this was her first, but
I don't know. It's the first one I've ever heard of by her, but that don't mean anything.
She may have another pen name.
Yeah, she could have another pen
name. She also has like 2 other professions, so I think that she was just, I think this was her first, to be honest, because she was like oh gosh, I don't remember. She had 2 other things that she was doing.
And in regards to the book, like it came out in 2020. I'm giving all like 2019 and 2020 books a reprieve. Like I'll look back and see, because you don't know, they just might not have been able to publish a book in 2021, 21.
Right.
Well, there might be one that comes out in 2022. So
Yeah. Norman was suspicious, Tiffany. I agree. Yeah, I definitely thought there was going to be more to it, but I also thought that there was going to be more to Vinny. So I don't know. I've read very few cozy mysteries, but feeling now like I might try one again.
Yeah.
I feel like
So
Vinny should have at least been the drug dealer.
that's what I really thought he was going to be, the drug dealer. I really, really thought he was, because he was portrayed as being kind of skeezy, and I don't mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. Never mind, that was rude. Never mind. I don't
Well,
mean it the way it
he
sounded, but
broke in at the very beginning, so I just wanted him to be a bad guy because he broke in.
Right. He was the red herring.
Yeah.
at Cornflower, they're a good palate cleanser, but they all have the same formula.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has a lot of Murder She Wrote books. Any recommendations where I should start with those? I've not read a whole lot of the Murder She Wrote, but I have a lot of recommendations.
I think anywhere.
I
I
just
think
got
that's a
2
series
of
you
them
don't
in
need
my
to read in
house.
order. Because they're like, each one is like a TV episode, so you don't have to read them in any certain order. You can just pick them up.
Yeah, I think because if you're familiar with the TV show, you can just jump in anywhere. But I mean, there's like what 54 of them we said the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you have certain like things that you're interested in, like craft or culinary or farming or whatever, we could give you suggestions. I did too. I loved Eloise or whatever her name was. She really added to it wholeheartedly. I think she
Yeah,
added to it.
she was funny.
They really
I love
needed.
how she was like enamored with like Azad because she's all
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna do the polar bear plunge too," and then she's like, "Well, Azad's gonna be on the. I thought you would be there on the beach with Azad. Azad's gonna be there."
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well,
I
I might just
also
skip this plunge.
what I also thought was funny, and I thought that they really needed a quirky character. I totally agree, Nancy. What I thought was funny was there were points where Lucy was genuinely jealous, or at least like of her. She was like annoyed about the way she acted. I'm like, she's 80 some years old.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Yeah, like, oh, come on.
I mean, I thought that was funny. I was like, that's really interesting.
I like how she helped at the dance, like the senior dance or whatever, because she was dancing with Norman, like, come on, so they could switch partners and then she could talk to Norman or whatever. So.
That was funny.
Yeah, just
she orchestrated that whole thing.
Add a lot to it. I wish there had been since the beginning in some way. Yes, I think yes, absolutely. Agreed, Nancy. And I like my books to be a bit more intense, but I remember liking the Murder She Wrote TV show, so I'm hoping I might like one of those books. Gotcha. I think a lot of people love the TV show, and I think the book is pretty close.
I love the TV show, and I've like never read any of the books.
And I've read one of them. It was one the publisher sent me. It was like number 49 or 50 or something. The one that has red in the title, that's the one I've read.
Well, I just got these like yesterday. They were the 2 cozies that I picked up.
Oh, nice.
I was like, well, they have some. This one looks like a Halloween one, so I can save that for Halloween. It says Trick or Treachery.
Where'd you get them?
The other one is 3 Strikes and You're Dead.
Where'd you get them?
The used bookstore. They were having a 25% off sale up till December 24th.
Oh, excellent.
For Christmas and stuff. So I went there and did that. And then our restore, after I told you about our restore having like the books, they took them out. They don't have the books anymore.
Oh my goodness.
So we went, because I went there to look for them and I was like, the books aren't there.
I wonder if they've done that across the board. I'll have to go and see the one in our area and see if they still have the thrift
stuff.
But
I think the used bookstore that's like pretty well next to where they work is like we would go to the bookstore and then we would go to the restore. And I think he probably bought a lot of their books because I remember him having like a big stash because I follow him on Facebook. And then when we went to this little flea market that's beside the restore, I got like a bunch of romances and stuff like this. You could get like a bag of romances for, it was like $7.50 or something. And I was kind of looking through them. I haven't really looked, but I saw some of the like vintage Harlequins that they used to have at the restore was in that bag. And I was like, oh, I bet they got some of those.
So they still have all their thrift stuff. They just don't have the books anymore. Or
yeah, they had all the like building supply stuff because that's which I thought it was kind of weird that they had books to begin with. But
yeah. That's why I thought it was just building supplies until you mentioned that you found all those books there. So I went and checked mine, and sure enough, it was just like a regular thrift store. And so I wonder if maybe they're going back to more building stuff. Sorry, I've had a cat in my lap. I'm trying to keep him quiet. He just left my lap. Okay, he's going to find another spot to lay down. If he starts yowling, I'll have to try to coax him back to my lap. He's so loud.
My husband's trying to do something with HR with the new job, and he was asking me a question, so I apologize.
Okay.
I had to text him real quick. Mel said, I'm back, finished Tide and Punishment, got sidetracked, so it took a little longer than expected. Gotcha. Oh, well, there you go, Just Gail. Nice. Do you have a YouTube channel? Tell us. That way we can subscribe to you. I just registered on Discord. Yay! So I'm completely unfamiliar. But how do I find your group on there? I searched Killing Time with Cozies, but nothing came up. Well, you know what I'll do? I'm going to put the link on there for you guys. So anybody who wants to join.
Yeah, it's best if you just join the invite link whenever they show because it's hard to search and find it. Yeah.
So
I thought Mel had been on there all this time. I guess y'all said there's a couple of different Mels. So
yeah, there's a Melinda, I think that's.
Yeah, well, Melinda is Two Boys Scrappin' is her YouTube channel name.
I am getting the link, guys. I'm sorry. Copy. Okay.
So, Elizabeth, are you reading any Christmas cozies or any Christmas?
I've already finished the Slashing Through the Snow.
Oh, yeah.
I finished that. I'm trying to now kind of finish up my SAS list. I just listened to Dearest Dorothy, Merry Everything. So that was kind of Christmassy. And so now I'm about to start the very last book is If Not Now, When. And I have those on audio. But in print, if I get any more reading done today, which I don't know that I will, I got to finish this. I've got about 60 pages in Southern as a second language.
Wow.
And then the other cozy, also not Christmas, but to finish this, check this off, Lemon Drop Dead. I don't know. Let me look at I have my reading all mapped out for the rest of the month.
I love the Dearest Dorothy series.
It's so fun. Yeah. So I don't have any more Christmas cozies. I have a couple of Christmas themed books, like romance, women's fiction, that kind of thing. There's that Thomas Kincaid book called Home for Christmas. It's supposed to be about the life of Thomas Kincaid. That's my BookTube spin book. So
nice.
So I have Silent Night, Deadly Night checked out from the library, but I probably won't get to it till January.
Ooh, that's my favorite series of all time. I love it. What did you think of the Slashing Through the Snow?
I liked it. I thought it was good. Yeah. I've already forgotten it, but because I have a tendency to mix up the
when you read a lot of cozies back to back, it's really easy.
Yeah.
But usually when you start talking about them, like on here, like I'm probably gonna already forget like half of this book that we're talking about because I started this other cozy and everything. But then we start talking about it, I was like, oh yeah.
The year-round Christmas mysteries, I feel like I'm more invested in Mary and her store and all of that than I am with the Tree Farm, because Tree Farm I've listened to all in audio, and year-round Christmas I've read in print, so they stick with me better. Like, her dad plays Santa and she plays Mrs. Claus, which is kind of weird, It's like, but then she has her store and all that. So I like those a lot, and I'm looking forward to reading the next one. But I tend to not be able to get to it until January for some reason. And I didn't get one even read last January, but for the 3 years prior, I read the first 3, one a year, and so now I'm a couple of years behind. But those are good.
Oh, I love it.
I want to start that series probably next year.
Before I forget, I put the link for a Discord, but it doesn't show up as a link. So my next video, I will put a link for the Discord in my next video. So I'll try to remember to do that for videos ongoingly, but I can never get the link not to expire. So then I put it in there and somebody will message me and they're like, the link is expired. I'm like, oh God.
Well,
But
when you generate a new link, you can there's a little drop down thing where you can put that you want the
never,
link to never expire. Yeah.
I've tried doing that, but it must not save it because I've tried doing that.
Oh, right, it
You
doesn't.
you have. I was gonna say if you at the bottom it says your invite link expires in 7 days, and then it says edit invite link, and so you click on that, and then you push the never, and then it says generate a new link. So you have to do that, and then it should work.
But then if you want to use that link again, you just go to like your last video and copy that and
copy
keep.
it.
That's what I do. I just go back to the last time on a video that I linked it and I copy it from there and bring it forward instead of generating a new link. That's how I do it.
All right. So I hope that works for you guys, but it's just not sending.
Cajun says it's a link on their side, so it might not show it for us, but it shows it on when they're watching it as a link. So.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Clemens was a jerk though. Sorry, I never liked him. You know,
He was never a big fan of mine. I didn't like him. I was never a big fan, but
I thought starting out he was holding a grudge because of her sister. But I do think, like Elizabeth said, I agree that I think he really matured during the course of the series. I didn't love him, but I didn't think that he was horrible either. I think sometimes I compare him to books where there are horrible detectives, and I didn't think he fell into that category either.
Have you noticed with cozies, seems like it has to be one way or the other. Either the sleuth is dating the cop or they hate them. It's like one or the other. There's no in between.
In one of my favorites, the Sherlock Holmes bookstore, one by Vicki Delaney, she's dating one of the detectives and hates the other one because they don't get along. So, which causes a lot of trouble with her boyfriend and the detective because they have to work together. Right. And she's just fine. Like, I think the last one the newest one that come out was number 7. It comes out next year that I read. And it's like, finally, it's like you're getting to where, you kind of like the other detective. At first you're like, but, you can see it's kind of progressed to where you start to like the detective a little bit better.
And you have a little bit of that dynamic in this because Katie is married to a detective. So you sort of have the good cop, bad cop kind of thing. But do you know what I realized in this book after reading all the other 4? It never occurred to me till the beginning of this book that Katie's last name was Watson.
It didn't me either.
I'm like, how did I not catch that?
I didn't realize it either. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't. Because I kept saying Holmes and Watson, and I just thought they were just saying that, I didn't know.
I'm like, no, she actually is Watson.
That's funny. I didn't put it together.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And her husband, Bill Watson, in the Jan Karen series, Uncle Billy, this character, Uncle Billy, his name is Bill Watson. And that I noticed. I was like, oh, Bill Watson. Okay, like from the Jan Karen series. And I still didn't get the whole idea that it was, the last name Watson as the sidekick. See, she liked Cajun. Can't speak. Cajun liked Clemens in this one. Yes. Although, she still had to bring up the whole, stereotypical cop and their donuts, like, oh yeah, you just want to save her for her baking. And he's like, well, that's part of it. Yeah. I think he did kind of say, yeah, I do like her baking.
Sorry. Jeez. Okay.
It's okay. You were texting earlier or something. When I wasn't talking, I was texting my dad because he was asking me questions.
Well, with Kevin being out of state and we're trying to get everything all like hooked up in banks and HR stuff and everything. It's like, oh, geez. And it's hard to do errands throughout the week. So He's trying to do them all today, but
So I was going to ask you, where's Leanne today? Did she not read this? Because I thought she had said she was going to read it.
She was
Or
working.
she was reading it.
She was reading it. She was almost finished. I don't know. She was supposed to be here. I sent her a message and said, just, I hope you're okay. Because I thought she was coming as of last night.
Okay.
So I sent her, like I said, I sent her a message and just said, hope you're okay.
I thought Ro would be on here, but maybe because she didn't read it, she didn't want to be on here. Or?
No, she had something going on. She did send me a message. So Cajun said, agree, Elizabeth. I really like Clemens in this one. Yes, Storm. He didn't believe it was her, but had to go with the evidence.
Yeah.
Oh, for Susan.
Yeah, apparently they're all like intimidated by the prosecutor.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Lucy comes across maturity wise as a lot younger than she is to me. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree. Yeah. I'm not as nice as you, Tiffany. Oh, I don't think that's true. You are so nice. Thank you. I need to take a page from your book.
I think that's when you were talking about the police, like you would have said it in a nicer way.
Yeah. Just Gail says, great. Interesting Cajun. I didn't like Clemens, just me. Gotcha. How do I do?
He grows on you. I didn't like him in the beginning, but he's had some growth.
I mean, I do think he's got growth. I didn't end up loving him by any means.
Yeah.
I just didn't end up feeling the same way it started. But even in the beginning, like there are some cops in the different cozies that are just flat out hateful and mean, and like the Paranormal series, the Perfectly Proper Paranormal, where like that happens a lot too. Because in that series, let me explain myself. I said that happens a lot, but in cozies, sometimes when they don't like the cop, there's always this like leftover nemesis stuff from high school, and and that's what happens in that. But that lady is I mean, just horrible. I never felt like he was that, but I did think he did hold some resentment towards her sister in the beginning.
Yeah, probably so.
Storm, your pup is a cutie. What breed is it?
She is part Cocker Spaniel and part Shih Tzu.
I thought maybe Shih Tzu.
Nancy, this was the first one I didn't like him in. I thought he was a jerk in the other ones, especially the first.
Oh, okay. That you did like. She did like him in this one.
Oh, I read it wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. Mel said, I would do the series read along for the dangerous type series. I currently have all 3 on my TBR. Nice. Well,
I like that series. I've read all 3 of them, but I would read them again. I'd listen to them because they weren't bad. I liked them.
That's the Paige Shelton series.
Yeah. And it's been like a couple of years since, so I probably wouldn't remember anything anyway.
I am fine with whatever because every series that we picked sounded really good.
Yeah, they all sounded really good.
All the ones that Hi, Kairu.
I definitely would prefer something that we can get on audio because I had to give up a couple of things in order to get this read. I had to give up a couple of other things, but it was still fun to read.
That was why we decided that we need to find them on audio, which is proving to be a lot harder because it seems like all the like trilogies that are on audio are foodie.
Yeah, we did only take suggestions that had audio as an option. For the same reason, it was really hard for me to get the ebook done too, Elizabeth.
And even whenever it was on ebook, like this one, you could only find on Hoopla, and I don't know why, but I just didn't like reading it on Hoopla.
Yeah,
it was annoying.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of ebooks either, so that's why I bought good old eBay. I bought my copies.
Yeah. Cajun said, or Nancy said at Cajun, he just irritated me. We'll just keep checking.
You got a bot. You have a bot down at the bottom line.
Oh, okay. I'm going, guys. Oh,
stay still. Nobody move.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
There you go.
So, now I gotta go find where we were. Leslie. Hi, Leslie. I'm so sorry. As I was passing through, I saw you. It's good to see you. Okay, I'm trying to find where we were. Okay. I just loved Eloise's outfits. Yes, the way that they described her outfits just cracked me up. And if anybody's read the Poppy McAllister series, Eloisa or Eloise, whichever it is, really reminded me of the aunt in that book. But I loved the outfits they described. I totally agree.
That's another series that I'd like to try next year.
Oh my gosh.
So many series.
Eloise in her outfits reminds me of the aunt in the Poppy McAllister series.
There you
Cajun,
go.
thanks. That's so funny because I did not read your thing. It's so funny. It really does. Yes. All right. So I mix up cozies all the time. If I didn't take notes for the club books, I would never remember.
Yeah.
I should take more notes than I do, but I feel like taking notes takes me out of the book sometimes. Like I'm too, I don't know.
Sometimes I think if you just like put a little mark, sometimes I'll put like a little mark and say, remember that, and then keep on going or whatever. And then if you come back and look at it, you can probably be like, oh, yeah, that was.
Sorry, I had to answer a couple of messages. No, I got it on my phone. I wanted to look up. There's a booktuber I'm thinking of that kind of reminds me of Eloise that you guys should all go subscribe to. She's from Hawaii, and she starts out her videos sometimes singing, or she'll wear a boa. And she did her first video on her 70th birthday, and she's hilarious and sweet, and she reads a lot of mysteries too. But I can't think of her name. I got to try.
Was that Marianne or something?
Yeah, Maya,
Marianne,
something like that. Yeah.
Maya something, yeah. I was going to say, because I might subscribe to her too, but yeah.
You guys will have to tell me because that sounds like somebody I would love to watch.
Yeah, you should. You should. I don't know if I can find it on my. Well, hang on. Let me go to my subscriptions, and I should be able to find it. Scroll back through. Yeah, when she comments to your videos, she always says aloha.
Is it Marilyn Maya Mendoza?
That's it. That's it. Yes. Here we go. Yeah, her last video was 26 random questions tag. Marilyn Maya Mendoza. Yes, she reminds me of how I think Eloise, like a real life Eloisa.
That's funny.
Very cute.
Oh, good. It's a link on their side. I knew Storm said that. Good. You can open, but if you have an iOS, you may have to use
default is what that was supposed to be.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I don't know what that is. Default as my Safari doesn't open it for some reason. I had to do it with Zach's. Maybe that's the problem I'm having too, Nancy. I have to do certain things on Google and not on Safari because they just won't work.
You guys, I'll be right back. Give me just a second.
I think we had about 3 people join the Discord whenever you put that on there.
Yay! Thanks. Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked. Hello, Aaliyah. She said just join the Discord. Yay! All right. It's pouring rain so hard in Houston, so I'm trapped in my car for who knows how long.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Jillian. I hope you have an audiobook. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry. I liked Bill, Katie's hubby, so much better than Clemens. Definitely liked him better than Clemens, for sure. Yeah. I missed the Watson psychic too. Yeah. It didn't even. Yep. I prefer the audio also if we can. Yeah. We're only doing books that have an audio suggestion, Nancy. But and I completely agree because I just can't. I was having a really hard time getting them done with my eyes being what they are. I have a really hard time reading ebooks. I have to read them very slowly. And I know I need to buy a paperweight, but I don't know that will
I was going to be
somewhat because it's not really the ink. It's I have something going on. So
well, we figured it's just that, you can make the font pretty big. And
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think I have something going on anymore. I really do think it's gotten better. I don't think that there's we'll see. Hi Hannah. Nancy said, I just take scanty notes. I've done it with Elantris too as my first fantasy and new language, whole different world. Oh yeah, I would have to for that. I agree. Yeah. By using the default button, it's on the link below. Okay. Thanks, Nancy. Hannah said I gave Triple M 3 stars. I
Didn't
didn't
like
like
the
the
ending.
ending. Oh, but it was because it was too open for interpretation.
yeah,
I personally think that the reason the very ending, what you're saying with the you never know, like where life's going to take you bit, was because I felt like she was unclear whether there would be another book. And so I think what Elizabeth said, she said it earlier, and I think that was probably exactly. She was unsure at the time if the contract was going to renew, so she left it open for another book. But she's kind of left it to where if there wasn't another book, it wasn't at least just like a ending where you would expect another book.
All right, no cliffhangers. But Hannah, did you not like the reveal and how she like yelled out who the killer was at the party and did a
you're
citizen's
a
arrest?
citizen's arrest.
I was telling him at the beginning, I thought that was spectacular. I loved every bit of that so much. And the Gadoo scratching his face and like coming to her rescue. Because I don't know if any of you have ever read the Cat Who books, but the main cat, all of a sudden I can't even think of his name, Coco, he does that a lot. Like he will come to the rescue of Quillerin and will just like pounce on the killer and like tear their head apart, you know.
There's been a
And
couple of cozies that have like a pet or whatever that will either the cat or the dog will come and kind of pounce
yeah,
on.
yeah. So she did. Okay, I was reading ahead.
Yeah.
Is that your cat?
Yeah, my cat. Yeah, that's the one that's
Oh my
loud.
gosh.
He's
How is
so
he
he's
sweet?
got.
That's
I think we think he's maybe getting dementia because he just
Oh.
goes around yowling. I had him in my lap for a long time. Let's come here, Kiki, come here. Let's see if I can get him to be quiet. Come here.
She said the citizen's arrest and the reveal was good. I was so lost on who the killer was.
I'm with you, Hannah. I was totally lost. I have eye problems. Also, Tiffany in my right eye. Yeah.
So Hannah, does that mean you didn't even suspect Jake or what?
I didn't. I didn't. I'm sorry to hear that, Nancy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I
cute kitty.
This is how he hugs. He'll
kitty.
do like this.
It is a cute kitty.
This
Aw.
is Boots. He's 14 years old, and we think he's kind of getting dementia.
Aw.
He just had a few teeth removed about a month ago. They were broken off anyway.
Aw. Goodness gracious.
I was
Tiffany,
reading
you
her.
see it climb out? Yes, I did. See? Yes, I did. I told you I would do it. No. I would she had some Christmas stuff to get done. I was worried. She just sent me back a thing and just
Oh,
said
okay. I was wondering, yeah.
I'm just text
Coco and Yum Yum are great. I don't know.
Yes, from the Cat Who.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't know who that's
Yeah,
from.
Coco is the one. He has he seems to have kind of a extra sensory ability. In fact, in one book they talk about how he has like 60 whiskers and most cats only have like, I don't know, 40 something or 30 something. And so Quillerin sort of thinks that because Coco has these extra whiskers, that gives him this uncanny ability to solve crimes. But then Yum Yum is just the sidekick. She doesn't have any special abilities. She's just sweet.
Aww.
And Boots seems like he's sweet until it's like 4 a.m. and he wakes up and starts yowling and waking everybody up. And then it's like, but we're all like, Boots, be quiet.
My dog
Hilarious.
has been waking up in the middle of the night wanting to go outside, and he will come up like a cat and like start pawing my face. And I'm like, seriously? Oh my gosh. Oh, Kairu. Yeah, you're guilty.
I agree with you, Hannah.
I thought it was going to be some part of the mobsters crew. I was still hoping that they would be involved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they never really, it was just like they were there, but they were never involved in anything.
Oh, but that does remind me when she had her like the kind of the epilogue chapter, that little 2-page chapter at the end, when she was having her, or maybe it was the one before that, when everything was said and done, and she was having the Christmas party at her house. I think it was on Christmas, but Michael was there. And I'm like, what is he doing there? Why isn't he with his own family? And like Sally was there, but maybe Sally is single. I don't know. But I mean, Michael's single too, but still you would think that he would be with his father and sister. And I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird that,
Was his sister in jail, or is his sister run the bit? No, his sister runs some of the other business. I think she's more like the father, so maybe he doesn't associate with them too much.
Yeah,
Well,
which
and
I
that's
keep,
what-
I would like to see that story.
Yeah.
I would like to see a story with, more about the Cideronis, and I mean that could even be a side series, about the Cideronis, and wouldn't that be kind of
Pop in
fun?
some novellas or something,
I think it for me it was always I always read it as they always said that, like Storm said, they always to me made a mention that like he's not like his father. He does it by the books. He follows the rules. And his sister and his father are more of the like
shady,
shady type.
Shady side.
And so I thought maybe it was just like he doesn't really have much of a relationship with them.
Hey, I guess that's true. And as long as Azad isn't threatened by him, then there wouldn't be anything wrong with him being there.
Maddie Day's Cape Cod series has a hilarious
much like Norman and Mike being at the same parties. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's all I'll say.
Yes.
Hilarious parrot. Oh, that's I have not read any books with a parrot as the sidekick, I don't think.
Yeah, it's a really
one of the trilogies that Laura Bradford has is the Toby Tobias series. There's a parrot in a pet shop because her friend I think owns a pet shop, and he's quite funny.
Cool. Yeah, I might have to agree with Nancy. I might read the books just for the parrot. That sounds fun.
Yeah, the series is really fun, and it's one of the it might start to be more of a thing, but it's the first one I've read where also they have a cozy mystery book group in the series.
That's
so
cool.
I thought that was fun.
I have read at least the first in a series where they have a murder mystery book group, but not necessarily cozy, just a murder mystery. But I can't think what book it was now.
Do you guys want to do a sprint at 50? Well, I know, Elizabeth, you may have to go because
I'll probably have to take off, but that's fine. I'll probably listen to an audiobook while I'm getting.
Yeah, we can do a sprint at 50, and then I'm going to go downstairs and get my food because I'm hungry.
Yeah, this live will probably have to be shorter today, like maybe just this sprint and then wrap up. I'm taking my grandmother to see Christmas lights, but we're going to go out I'm taking her out to eat first, and then I'm going to take her to see Christmas lights.
Nice.
We'll have to just wrap up a little early. I apologize to anybody, but we're going to do another half an hour sprint, and then we'll come back and talk. So it doesn't have to be right away. It just won't be like some of the longer ones. So.
Okay. I might try to pop back in. Instead of reading, I may go and turn my camera off and do a few things to get ready, and then I'll try to pop back in to say goodbye. So I just want who was it that was talking? Nancy. So Nancy, I am adding this to my TBR, Murder on Cape Cod, the Maddie Day book.
Yeah, and that will be a good one for next month because the scavenger hunt is murder in the title.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's only 3 of these. Would this be a possibility for
it's a new series though, so I don't know if it's That's what we were talking about. We didn't know like some of them.
Murder on Cape Cod, Murder at the Taffy Shop, and Murder at the Lobster Shack.
Yeah, because the Lobster Shack just came out this year.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
Fun. Yeah. Has anybody looked on Hoopla to see if those are on audio?
Um, I think the first two are, because I've read the first two, and I think I did them on audio.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot of y'all have already read them. So yeah, I need to catch up. Then I need to read these.
I
Doesn't Maddie Day have a scrapbooking series too? Or no, I'm thinking
He
of.
has the Country Store series
That's right.
with
That's right.
Robbie Jordan. I love that series. Yeah.
I listened
And she
to a
also has another
novella.
series. I'm so
Go ahead.
sorry. She also has another series under a pen name. No, no, no. Maddie Day is her pen name. Her real name is Edith Maxwell, and she has a series as Edith Maxwell too. And that might be what you're talking about, because I don't know what that one's about.
No, I am thinking of the like when the grits hit the fan and
Oh, it's
biscuits
by
and slashed
Live.
browns.
Well, that's the country store one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. I read a novella from that and I didn't love it. I'm hoping I'll like the series better. It's a Christmas one, Christmas Cocoa and a Corpse. I listened to that earlier this month. And it was okay, but there was like a little bit of cussing in it, which I just wasn't expecting. Um, and I don't know if the rest of the series is like that.
I'm not a huge country store fan, but it's okay.
For the series, you mean, or
Yeah.
just country stores? You're not a huge fan.
The
Okay.
country store, the series.
Okay. And I kind of have a feeling that may just from that one novella, if that if that's kind of the tone that carries on through the series, I may
That's
not be
one
a
of
huge fan
Lowe's
either.
favorite series, though.
Really? Okay. Okay. I definitely want to try it, if nothing else for the titles alone, because I
Mhm.
love those titles.
It's a series that I enjoy, but it's not one of my favorites. It's a good solid read to me. I think I rate most of them threes, which is a good three's a good rating for me, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, and I definitely continue it, but it's not one of my
Okay.
favorites. But Storm said, it is one of Cozy's favorites. So
Okay. Good.
um oh, we're past time. Okay.
Yep.
But I do want to say bye, Hannah. Bye, Nancy. It was good to see
Bye.
you. Boo, Hannah. I'm just kidding. All right. So we'll read till you want to just read till 20 after?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Elizabeth, if you're headed out, thanks for jumping in. Have a good
Yep.
time tonight.
Okay.
Bye.
What you're
I'll,
doing.
I'll
Sounds
probably
like
stick
a lot of
around
fun.
because I'm not leaving before you're done. If you're leaving early, I'll just turn my camera off though, and I'm gonna get up and move around and get some stuff done. But I'll come back before you sign off.
I'm
Yeah, I
going to
have to
go.
turn my camera off and run to the restroom when we're
Thanks for having me.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go eat too.
Oh yeah, okay. Happy reading, everyone.
Think your bag. Not even from my plate, though I claimed to not be hungry enough for dinner. Word came from the kitchen that dessert would take a few more minutes. A good thing, as we were all stuffed. A small group of patrons had arrived, 2 booths worth. They weren't locals, but Nina apparently recognized them from another visit and addressed them by name, as if they were her best friends and she couldn't wait to serve them again. A day at the fair seemed not enough reward for such a great waitress. We moved to a more difficult topic on the agenda, the property dispute Allie had told me about. We're not even sure it's a thing, are we? Annie asked. Didn't you say Allie wasn't sure? And we both talked to Donna. Chris reminded me. She worked with KC on the farm, well, in the office, but still on a daily basis, and she didn't mention it at all. All true, I said. But I think it's still worth pursuing. Milo turns 18 soon. We should find out exactly when, because that could matter in terms of property ownership. We should find out if there's a will also. That might have something to do with it. If there are conflicting documents, for example. I'll get on that tomorrow, Trooper said. Might as well put it to rest if there's nothing to it. The recorder's office is closed tomorrow, I said. Trooper winked. No matter, I have my ways. I'm glad to hear that. We still had a couple more items to discuss, including the 9 o'clock incident report from firefighter Lee Hadley. One perplexing issue was that the timing was off. If Casey's mother was supposedly with her until 10, where was she when her daughter was in a fight at 9? Plus, dessert is served, came the call from the kitchen, interrupting my thought. Nina appeared at the head of a little parade of kitchen staff, carrying a dish that might have been heavier than her. It's Boston cream pie, Victor announced. But it's not really a pie, more of a cake, Nina said, depositing the appealing confection on our table, created at a famous Boston hotel almost 200 years ago. Victor said. Nina took on the posture of a model at a car show, using graceful gestures to point to the 3 layers. A cake, cream filling, a chocolate glaze. Triple delight, she said, playing the role beautifully. I'm so glad I ate light, I said. 10. With the surprise arrival of the Boston cream pie, it took some doing to get us back on track with the reporting and sharing we'd come together to accomplish this evening. First, we had to hear from Victor that a 12-foot diameter Boston cream pie had been made a few years ago for a New England food fair. It weighed more than a ton, he told us. I think we should try to make one for our Alaska State Fair next year. We can create a whole new category of a prize, Nina said. Why not an enormous bear claw? Rachel suggested. That's who we are, she added, in case we'd forgotten. Rachel, Victor's girlfriend, was the most recent full-time bear claw weight person, and was fitting in nicely. The other
All right. How was your sprinta, Elizabeth?
Good. Let me turn it off. I started listening to the last Dearest Dorothy book. Well, I can't get it to pause. There we go. It's been a fun series. There's 6 books in the series for anybody that doesn't know. And I suspect the reason Tiffany was drawn to it is because the protagonist is like an 88-year-old woman. and she's not so much funny or quirky. She really is dear. Like Dearest Dorothy is a good way to describe her. Although it is kind of funny when she gets behind the wheel of a car and things like that, you know. But it's a little scary. But I think it's a fun series.
I do too. I like kind of all of those. I like kind of, it's to me it's on the same length of like Fanny Flag's Welcome to the World Baby Girl series and all that.
Yeah.
I like all of those things. So
yeah, I love those. Have you ever, I think I've mentioned this to you before, and I don't know if you've ever had a chance to look it up, Effie Leland Wilder. She writes, she wrote all of her books like from the age of 85 and older, and they take place in her senior citizens assisted living. They're hilarious. There's 5 of them. She's passed away now, but you should, what is called like over the out to pasture, but not over the hill or something like that. So look those up. They're great.
Kyrie is looking so cute there.
Tell me the author one more time.
Effie, Effie, Leland, Leland, Wilder, like Laura Ingalls Wilder.
That's great.
Yeah, I'll run and get them and show them to you. They're super cute.
That's awesome. They sound really, really cute.
Kyrie looks so cute there.
What? Oh, yeah. He's, yeah.
So I listened to Paradise Valley, which is the Robin Carson, the Virgin River number 7, I believe. And I don't remember where I started, but I'm at 32% on that now. But it's like sad. I don't like. It's a rough one because I know you've read the series. So it's the one with Rick coming back from Iraq or whatever, and all the stuff he's had to go through.
Yes. I loved that series. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. It's much different than the TV show.
It is a lot different.
All right, I'll show you these real quick. This is the first one, out to pasture, but not over the hill.
Love it.
And then over what hill? Notes from the pasture.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
And then older but wilder, because play on words for last name. More notes from the pasture.
That's
I love it.
And there is a continuing story that goes throughout, so it's important to read. I would read them in order. And then one more time, just for the fun of it, notes from Fair Acre. And for the longest time, I thought this was the last one. And then I looked him up one day a few years ago, and I discovered there was another one, and I finally got it. Oh, it's called Oh My Goodness.
I love it.
And they're just the sweetest, funniest thing. The funny thing she does is, it's about these people that live in this assisted living, and she realizes that there's these 2 gentlemen who sit out on the porch every day and just kind of chew the fat, and then just kind of talk and tell each other jokes and whatnot. So there's a certain chair inside the building where she can sit in that chair and hear what they're saying. So she'll go in there and like eavesdrop on what they're saying. And it's just so cute. It's adorable. All of the shenanigans and the sweet stuff that they do for people. Like one of their young men who work there, he's got a wife and a young baby, and they don't have much. And so these senior citizens get together and like try to do something for the family, and because they're sweet. So, well, we lost Tiffany. I guess she was frozen. Oh, there she is. Sorry. Did you hear any of that?
I heard
Okay, good.
The 2 men sitting on the porch, and she's always eavesdropping, and that's kind of where I.
Okay, and then I was saying there's this young man who works at the home. He's got like a young wife and baby, and so the residents, they don't have much, and so the residents like pool together to like do stuff for the family, and it's just really sweet. So I enjoy that.
Cute. I mean, you had me at 85-year-old retirement.
Yeah. I'll show you. Let's see. There's a picture of her in here. She published her first book at the age of 85. Like she was 85.
Incredible.
I know.
So at least she was writing what she knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just goes to prove you're never too old to start.
Right. Absolutely.
I love it.
Like I think Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first book till she was 65 or somewhere around in there.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
It is. Just Gail said, just join Discord. Excellent. Rhea said, just popping in to say hi. Hi, Rhea. I'll be in and out because I'm multitasking, but hope you're having lovely days. Nice. Yes, I understand. Especially this time of year. It's just the weekend, and that's when I have to do most of my stuff, but totally get it. I hope you're having a good day too.
I'm multitasking too. I just got through making reserve signs for the church pews where the choir has to sit tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm directing the Christmas program tomorrow. The live nativity that we do is separate. Like tonight's the last night of that. Our church has a whole block, and we set up scenes throughout. So I participate in that. But the service tomorrow, I'm leading the cantata and the handbell choir, and the kids are going to do a nativity at the end and all that. So we have rehearsal for that in a few minutes, and then we eat dinner at church, and then do the live nativity. So it's a big thing.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I got kicked off during the sprint. When I came back on, it unmuted me, like when I signed back on. So that Jillian was like, "Your sound's on." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
thank you, Jillian." Yes, Jillian, I'm reading Murphy's Slaw. It's the third book in the Alaskan Diner series. It's not by Bo Elizabeth. I meant Elizabeth. If you,
I think your bot came back.
at the
Yeah.
bottom.
No, up above a little bit. You missed some of them or something.
I keep that's part of the reason I think I got kicked out. I keep hitting block user and it comes up an error occurred, trying refreshing the page. So I hit refresh and that's when it kicked me out the second time.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not coming back, so you can just not mess with them.
Yeah. As long as nobody, as long as we don't click on it.
It wasn't anything bad, real bad this go around. At least not saying anything nasty. So
Yeah. Read 10%, got started late. Nice, Gajan. That's pretty good. That's awesome. Well, I got barely any reading done these sprints, but I was very productive. Farmers market, chiropractor, picked up bagels, book shopping, and wrapped all my presents.
wow,
In
that's
this
a lot.
half an hour sprint,
Wow.
holy moly, that's like 4 days for me. No I'm kidding.
Well, there were a couple of sprints.
Yeah, I think that's like on a whole. That's probably what she did while she was listening to us.
Yeah.
Cation said, "Good grief, you were busy. Yeah, you were really productive, Jillian." Hello, Bev. Didn't read during that sprint. I'll have to take an hour or so break between books. So I made chocolate clusters instead. Well, you made good use of your time.
Yes, good productive time there.
Exactly.
It sounds yummy.
It sounds really delicious. Yes. Chocolate clusters. Yum. I'm gonna make Tex-Mex later, which is like my downfall. I don't even know why I'm doing it.
This week I've got to make pumpkin cookies again sometime.
Ooh. Mel said, but I'm going to be reading Death on the Night of Lost Lizards. Yay. I'm excited. I love that series. Jillian, Elizabeth, have you read any of that series?
Fun.
The Hungarian Tea House?
No, I've only read her The Writer's Apprentice. I have not started Hungarian Tea House. I said I would finish Writer's Apprentice first before I start Hungarian Tea House. Is that the one you're talking about, Julia Buckley?
Yeah.
I know Becky from the Bookish Bryants has, like, when she first read the first one, she was just like, I loved it so much. I mean, she was just raving about it, and I think I
started it, but I quit it.
Oh, really?
I think it was I didn't like the narrator.
Oh.
And so I need to find it on like an ebook, but it's like really hard to find, and like my libraries don't have it. And
yeah, I love that series. I mean, I can understand the narrator thing, but it's a really, really interesting series. Lots of really cool, interesting tidbits about the Hungarian culture. It's really neat. Jillian said, I made milk chocolate peanut ones, but I have all kinds of different ingredients, all kinds of ingredients to make different kinds, different chocolates, all kinds of nuts, toasted coconut, mini marshmallows, cherries. Holy moly.
Who wants to go to Mel's house?
Yeah, no kidding. I need to look up some recipes for some. Western New York has a local specialty called Charlie Chaplin's. They're chocolate with marshmallows, toasted coconut, and nuts, usually cashews. They're awesome. Ooh.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah. Excellent. So, yummo. So, what do you guys have coming up on your channels?
Go ahead, Storm.
Oh, well, I have my super duper giant book haul from yesterday that I need to like video. I haven't done yet. And I don't know, that's probably about it until I do a wrap up for this week.
I have been trying to post. I think I've posted every day this week. I may have missed a day. I did finally my first episode of my series of reading and reviewing literary cookbooks. So I did the Fanny Flag Whistle Stop Cafe. And the next one will be the Jan Karen Mitford cookbook and kitchen reader. I'm reading it right now. And then I have several more. I did a video a while back where I showed my whole collection and said that I was going to be like reading and reviewing each one. So I will get to the cozy mystery one that is contributed. I think Laura Childs maybe have edited it, and I think Cleo Coyle has some. Several cozy mystery authors have contributed, and there's then I have the Joanne Fluke one that I'll be reviewing, and so several of those. So, but that's going to be like over time.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say you read a cookbook, do you actually like read all of the recipes, or do you just like read that front part and then skim through the recipes?
Well, some of both. I mean, if it's a recipe I know I'll never make, I just kind of like skim it just to say I've read it. But if it's something that I think, oh, I would probably make this, then I'll go ahead and be like, okay, here's the ingredients. Okay, yeah, that looks like something I would do. Okay. So yeah, I do read a lot of the recipes. But
I'm like, read a cookbook? How do you read a cookbook?
but the difference is like all of these are literary cookbooks, so they are based on a book or a series. And so they have a lot of narrative mixed in, like the Fanny Flag one. She did, she talked about Southern cooking and just in Southern diners and about cooking, just a lot of stuff. And the same thing with Jan Karen. There's excerpts from the books that are woven in and all kinds of things. So I never realized that for a long time. And I think the same thing with the Hannah Swenson one. There's little bits of stories woven in throughout the recipes, so you got to actually turn through each page and read it. So
I've just never really thought about getting a cookbook based on those, because I'm like, it's just got
yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw my video of my collection, but if you didn't, go back and check that out. And there's several more I want to get that I don't have. Like since I did that video, I picked up a Little Women cookbook, and I have that now. And I can't remember what else, but
I didn't realize there were so many literary cookbooks. I guess
there are. Yeah,
I knew there were some cozy mystery ones and stuff, but like the other ones.
Yeah, and the book 10, I think, of the Coffee House Mysteries. It's one of the Christmas ones. I consider it as much a cookbook as a storybook, because there's literally 70 pages of recipes. So yeah, that's a good one. And it's Christmas, so they've got lots of Christmassy kind of recipes too. So I'll probably talk about that one too in a video. So yeah. But anyway, guess what was coming up? So I just did an announcement yesterday about a read along for the Ken Follett Pillars of the Earth. Myself and Felicia from the Little Prairie Library are gonna do a read along of that in January, February. And then I've got still one more big book haul to do of stuff that I collected in the fall. And I might, if I have time tomorrow, do like a mid-month wrap up. And I've got a couple tags that I want to do, like the book addiction tag and the 1001 books tag. So those are coming up. Okay. And my goals. I need to do my goals for the year, and what I'm going to be reading for Serious About Series, and binge my bookshelves and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not sure
stuff coming up too. A lot of end of the year stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do in what order, but I'm going to, because as well, there's some tags I want to do. I'm going to do Cozy's 10 questions as a video.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do my new SAS list, what my series that I want to start in the next year. I also want to do a SAS wrap up from 2021, like what series I did finish, But I don't know what order they're going to come in because I'm also starting new spotlights. So, I mean, they'll all be coming, but what I'm going to record tomorrow, I don't know. I run it on a whim. Can you hear Kairu?
It'll be great, whatever you do.
He's snoring. I don't know if you can hear him. He snores
Oh,
loud.
yeah, I just heard him right there. Yeah.
Yeah. He's funny. He's a loud snorer. Well, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm sorry that we have to cut it short. Let me catch up on comments though, because I don't want to skip anybody. At Mel, love me some Charlie Chaplins. Went to Parkside Candy while I was in Buffalo last month. Stocked up on all the goodies, especially sponge candy. Yum. Going to start Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory in the next sprint. Nice. Sorry. They'll probably sprint in the Discord. Sorry, Bev. Jillian, all I do is melt chocolate chips in a microwave safe bowl for about 2 minutes at half power. Stir and then mix in whatever you want. Spoon them on mini baking cups and refrigerate till set. Nice.
That is a really nice, easy way to do it. I like that kind of thing. Yeah,
I can do that. Yes, thank you for that. Oh yes, sponge candy is amazing too. I don't know if I've ever had sponge candy.
I don't think I have either.
I don't know exactly what that is. My relatives across state don't have it there. We send it to them at Christmas. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up what sponge candy is.
Me too. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
She said, "Oh no, that's okay. I will start my book soon." Yeah, been meaning to ask, is it just me or does anyone else find themselves waving by? I do it all the time when I watch videos too. Oh, that's another one of my goals is to get caught up on other people's YouTube videos. It's like I need what I need to do is, and I hate to say this but narrow down some of what I really watch on a regular basis because I have so many channels that I've worn myself so thin that by the time I get back, because I'll try to go through like in an order, oh, she's next, this person's next, whatever. But then when I get back to the other person, it's been a month sometimes.
Yeah. And you can't watch it all. And I don't think anyone expects you to. Yeah. I certainly know that not everybody, who I even talk to on a regular basis has time to watch every single video. So,
and, sometimes you just got to look through them and say, oh, well, that one looks like one that I think would be interesting and watch that one and then comment on it. So at least they know, well, hey, this person is still watching my videos. Because, I have so many, I have my main ones that I look through on more of a daily basis. And then I have some that I might go back and look and see what they've done, their past videos and grab one and look at it. So that, I can say, oh, I watched one.
Yeah. I did post one this morning that if anybody's interested, it's a real short one. It's 6 minutes, but it's about mid-roll ads because that is something I've been thinking about lately. And I was just curious to know, what people's take on it is. And that's the ads that interrupt videos because I deselect. So I try to make sure those are not on my videos. And, and sure enough, well, Leanne commented that she didn't like them. And Steve Donahue commented, he's like, the minute one comes up, I turn off the video. And so, YouTube tries to get you to do it because they say, oh, to optimize your monetization, be sure you accept mid-roll ads. But I was just curious to know how many people it really is a deal breaker. If that comes up, is it going to make you turn it off or are you going to keep watching anyway? That kind of thing. So
it doesn't make you turn it off, but it's kind of aggravating when you're in the middle of saying something and then all of a sudden the ad pops up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just kind of a weird way of doing things. I thought maybe if you monetized your videos, that's just how it happened. That's what it is.
It is. It's a default, but you can deselect it if you don't want.
But if you deselect it, will you not get as much monetizing? Or
that's what they try to tell you. But I leave all the others on. I leave the beginning on and the banner ads and all that. But that's just a choice you have to make for yourself. And I'm not mad at anybody for leaving them on. But my sister, and I say this in the video, when I first started putting them on there, she's like, what's up with that? I'm trying to listen to your video while I'm sewing. I can't get up and go and skip through the ad. It's kind of annoying. And another watcher had kind of commented something similar. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think I would rather have people watching and not be aggravated. So I made the choice.
I just thought I don't have near enough like subscribers and all that stuff to even think about like monetizing or anything. So I just automatically thought if you were monetizing, that's just what happened. I didn't know you could actually select it off. That's why.
You can.
And that's really good to know, because I wouldn't. I'm exactly with Storm. I wouldn't have known it was even an option. I just thought it was something that happened. So that's really good to know, because I wouldn't want them in my videos either. I think it's now I will say that sometimes I just leave them going, because then I'll get up and do some dishes and I'll come back, something like that. But there are times when it's like really frustrating too.
Right.
You know, if it's so. But I would rather. That's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for having me on. I know you're probably about to wrap up, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off, because I've got about 20 minutes to get there, and I need to load the car and all that stuff.
Have fun.
So, thank you.
Let's have a great night. And
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Jillian said sponge candy is a Western New York thing. LOL. It's like sponge made out of sugar and dipped in chocolate. Interesting.
I gotta look it up.
Bev says I do it all the time. I don't.
Yeah. You can really hear it. Him snoring whenever you're like really quiet.
Yeah. They are easy. That's why I was able to make a batch during the sprint. Gotcha. Ads only really bother me when I'm trying to listen to YouTube while in the shower, because I can't skip them.
Yeah.
True, Jillian. Oh, and if you don't have many baking cups, you can also drop spoonfuls onto wax or parchment paper. Nice. Anita saying bye. Susan G said just got home. I'm guessing you're all almost done. I'm reading Death on Tap by Yellow Alexander. Yay! Yeah, we would normally do one more reading sprint, but I am taking my grandma to see the Christmas lights, and we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out to dinner first, which is a big treat for her. So I'm gonna.
Sponge candy looks different than I thought it was going to look.
I'm gonna have to look that up though. So
but it's kind of looks spongy on the inside though. It's kind of
sponge candy. I am gonna have to look it up, because I do not know sponge candy. Oh, okay. That's not what I expected either.
I was like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Some of them look spongier than others too when I was looking on there. So it's like,
yeah. All right, guys. Well, everybody have a great holiday. I'm still planning on sprinting on Wednesday. So, and it's at 6 p.m. If I ever tell you it's at 6:30, don't listen to that, Tiffany. Listen to this one. It's at 6 p.m.
Yeah, well, we used to do like 6:30, but then I think it got changed. So,
and then Friday is Christmas Eve, right? And I think we're going to do sprints. Do you want to host those? That way you host Friday and I'll host Saturday.
Christmas Eve.
Oh, you're busy. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just not sure when we'll get home. I could possibly come in after we get home if you guys are still on there and chat.
Okay. Yeah. So I know Sherry said something. I don't think she's here right now, but she said something about also wanting to.
Christmas Eve, we're doing ours, and it starts at 2:00. And I'm like, I'm not one of those that likes to stay there forever. So usually we get home around 5 or 5:30 or so. But that's why I was like, I'm just not quite sure.
Okay. Yeah, and you can always hop on. I don't have anything to do, and I think, man, I know how holidays can be lonely for people, so I figure,
and some people don't celebrate Christmas.
Some people don't celebrate the holiday. Some people just need a break from their family. Some people just don't, there's all sorts of reasons. But so for whatever the reason, if you would like to join me on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm going to do sprints both days. The Christmas Day, I don't know, because that's when I'll go over to my aunt and uncle's. But I'm like you, we don't stay a whole long time just because my grandma gets tired. So a few hours is usually what we do. So. All right, guys, but we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Everybody have a great evening. Thanks for joining us. I see everybody. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to take her.
I sent you a message on Discord. I don't know if you've seen it, but just
me.
Yeah.
I I don't know if I did either.
That's why I was wanting so you could look at it because it was about the Elster thing. So.
Okay, I'll have to. I'll look. Mel says bye. See you Wednesday at 6. I'll see you Wednesday.
Cajun's excuse
Excellent,
for me.
Anita. Have a great night, everyone. Storm, your excuse to leave early is you have to host. Yeah, Cation, there you go. All right, guys. Everybody have a great Saturday. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Storm, for joining me. See you later.
Yeah.
Oh, you woke up. Yeah.